Objective Hydrogeology, multiple choice questions with answers. These are the collection from various previous year's question papers, and these are useful for various competitive exams like CSIR, NET, GATE, GSI. Welcome to set 3. Coming to the first question. Highest salinity is found in, the choices are A. Caspian Sea, B. Indian Ocean, C. Dead Sea, and D. Atlantic Ocean. So highest salinity is found in Dead Sea. Dead Sea is one of the world's saltiest bodies of water with a salinity of 34.2%, and it makes about 9.6 times saltier than the ocean and denser than the human bodies, allowing people to float easily. The density of seawater is highest as A. Depth increases and salinity increases. B. Depth decreases and salinity increases. C. Depth increases and salinity decreases. D. Depth decreases and salinity decreases. So the density of the seawater is highest as depth increases, the salinity increases. The density of the seawater increases with depth, but only slightly. So density is a function of temperature and salinity, and cold salty water is denser than the warm fresh water. At the surface, the seawater density is between 1.02 and 1.03 grams per cc. This is due to the addition of the salts and other dissolving substances. So the density of seawater is as highest as the depth increases, the salinity increases. A is the correct option. Next question. The statement the flow rate through porous media is proportional to the head loss and inversely proportional to the length of the flow path. It stands for A. Poisson's law, B. Darcy's law, C. Twilight's law, and D. Newtonian flow law. So the statement that flow rate through the porous media is proportional to the head loss and inversely proportional to the length of the flow is known as a Darcy's law. Darcy's law is an equation that describes how a fluid moves through a porous medium such as water through an aquifer, and it's a fundamental principle in hydrogeology and earth sciences that helps in explanation of a fluid permeability. So B. Darcy's law is the correct option. Next question. Lysimeter is used to measure A. Evaporation, B. Transpiration, C. Evapotranspiration, D. Humidity. So lysimeter is used to measure evapotranspiration. A lysimeter is a measuring device which can be used to measure the amount of actual evapotranspiration which is released by plants, usually crops or trees. In the permafrost regions, to obtain the underground water, A. Small pits are required, B. Shallow wells are required, and C. Deep wells are required, and it is not possible at all. So in the permafrost regions, to obtain the underground water, deep wells are required. Active groundwater flow occurs above and below the permafrost layer, which is essentially impermeable. So this obstacle to downward drainage causes the surface to be boggy, and when the substantial volume of water it flows the groundwater system, the areas of unfrozen ground occur within the permafrost. So in the permafrost regions, to obtain the underground water, deep wells are required. C is the correct option. Next question. Specific discharge is synonymous to A. Hydraulic conductivity, B. Permeability, C. Darcy velocity, D. Storability. So the specific discharge is synonymous to Darcy velocity. So Darcy velocity is nothing. Specific discharge is the discharge, that is the volumetric flow rate divided by the flow area, and because the dimension of the specific discharge is length over time, that is L by T, like the dimension for velocity, specific discharge is also referred to as the Darcy velocity. C is the correct option. Next question. Which of the following will give the highest specific yield? A. Limestone, B. Sandstone, C. Clay, and D. Gravel. So the correct option is D. Gravel. The specific yield of the gravel, it can vary depending upon its coarseness, ranging from 10 to 25% for coarse gravel, and 15 to 25% for medium gravel, and 20 to 35% for fine gravel. However, the specific yield can also be affected by the other factors such as soil texture, water table depth, and time. So gravel gives the highest specific yield. D is the correct option. Next question. Water logging in some particular area may be due to A. Inadequate drainage, B. Over irrigation, C. Seepage from adjoining reservoirs, D. All of the above. So water logging in some particular area may be due to all the above, like inadequate drainage, over irrigation, and seepage from adjoining reservoirs. D is the correct option. Next question. The rock mass which is capable of yielding the contained water economically is A. Aquifer, B. Aquiclude, C. Aquifuse, D. Aquitop. The rock mass which is capable of yielding the contained water economically is known as an aquifer. An aquifer is a body of rock or sediment that holds the groundwater, and groundwater is the word used to describe the precipitation that has infiltrated the soil beyond the surface and collected in the empty spaces underground. So A. Aquifer is the correct option. Next question. Isohydral lines are the lines joining points of equal A. Elevation, B. Thickness, C. Depth of the water table, D. Depth of precipitation. So isohydral lines are lines joining points of equal depth of precipitation. Isohydral lines are also known as isohyds. They connect the points on a map that have the same amount of the precipitation over a given period of the time. And isohyds are similar to the contour lines on a topographic map. So D is the correct option. Next question. The chief source of potassium in groundwater is A. Alkali feldspar, B. Plant debris, C. Small flakes of mica, D. halides. The chief source of potassium in groundwater is alkali feldspar. The potash feldspars are the chief sources, and sometimes potassium fertilizers are also the secondary source of potassium in the groundwater. So the correct option is the chief source of potassium in groundwater is alkali feldspar. A is the correct option. Next question. The critical temperature of water is A. 100 degrees centigrade, B. 0 degrees centigrade, C. 374 degrees centigrade, and D. plus 273 degrees centigrade, and E. minus 273 degrees centigrade. The critical temperature of water is 374 degrees centigrade. At this temperature and pressure, the distinction between the liquid and we can see the gaseous state of water disappears and becomes a supercritical fluid. So the density of this fluid can be varied from the liquid to gas-like by changing its temperature. So the critical temperature of water is 374 degrees centigrade. C is the correct option. Next question. The term effective porosity refers to as a ratio of volume of voids to the total volume of A. As a ratio of volume of the voids to the total volume. B. The amount of interconnected pore spaces available for fluid flow. C. Primary porosity. D. A and B both. The term effective porosity, it refers to the ratio of the volume of the voids to the total volume or the amount of the interconnected pore spaces available for fluid flow. Effective porosity, this is also known as the open porosity. It is the ratio of the volume of the interconnected pore spaces in a material to its total volume. So it is often used in geology to describe the porosity of rocks and sediments that contribute to the fluid flow, such as through a borehole. And effective porosity excludes the isolated pores and pore volume occupied by water, so which is adsorbed on clay minerals or other grains. So here B is the correct option. Next question. Capillary action is caused by A. Cohesive force, B. Adhesive force, C. Turbulent flow, D. both A and B. So capillary action is caused by both cohesive and adhesive force. Capillary action is the movement of liquid through or along another material which is against an opposing force such as gravity. So this is caused by a combination of two types of intermolecular forces known as cohesion and adhesion. So D. both A and B is the correct option. Next question. Water molecules are held together in crystal by A. Covalent bond, B. Hydrogen bond, C. Ionic bond, D. Metallic bond. So water molecules are held together in crystal by hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bonds are the weak electrostatic attractions that form between the water molecules, giving water many of its unique properties. So B is the correct option. Next question. The most rapid drilling method for unconsolidated formation is A. Rotary percussion method, B. Air rotary method, C. Reverse circulation rotary method, and D. Jacobs method. The most drilling method of rapid drilling method of unconsolidated formation is reverse circulation rotary method. So this reverse circulation rotary method is considered as the fastest drilling technique for unconsolidated geological formations, and it uses a sharp rotating drill bit and which is downward pressure to cut through the subsurface, and the direction of the flow is reversed and the transport medium is pumped down between the outer casing and the inner drill rods through the drill bit and up through the drill rods. So the most rapid drilling method for unconsolidated formation is known as a reverse circulation rotary method. C is the correct option. Next question. Example for best active fluid is A. Granites, B. Gravels, C. Compacted clay, and D. Sandstone. Example for best active fluid is known as a compacted clay. Active fluid is nothing but it is treated as stated as a practically impermeable rock mass, and the compacted clay formation is the best example for active fluids. C is the correct option. Next question. Flow of fluids are represented by A. Hydrometer, B. Rotatometer, C. Venturimeter, and D. Pitot tube. So flow of fluids is represented by rotatometer. A rotameter is used to measure the rate of the liquid or gas flowing through a system of pipes at any given time, and they provide a constant flow rate measurement, and they can also offer optional switching capabilities to control the flow in a system or through a process. So flow of fluids are represented by rotatometer. B is the correct option. Next question. Which rock formation is absolutely impermeable? A. Aquifer, B. Aquiclude, C. Aquifuse, and D. Aquitol. Rock formation which is absolutely impermeable is aquifuse. It is a geological formation which is neither porous nor permeable. So that is a compact rock without any fractures. C is the correct option. Next question. Reynolds number NR is the ratio of A. Viscous to inertial force, B. Inertial to viscous force, C. Flow density to the velocity of flow, D. Velocity of flow to flow density. Reynolds number NR is the ratio of interstitial to viscous force. The Reynolds number is a dimensionless quantity. It measures the ratio of inertial forces to viscous forces in the fluid dynamics. It is used to predict the fluid flow patterns in different situations, such as the transition from laminar to turbulent flow. So B, interstitial to viscous forces is the correct. Hope you have enjoyed these questions. Hope you can subscribe to this channel, explore your senses. For more videos, you can subscribe.